also, we're going to have wine after.
Oh, no. Not the 4 white mice.
Who the fuck dropped a house on my sister?
Amazing Technicolor Shit Show.
Hello and welcome. This is Amazing Technicolor Shit Show, the podcast about the fumbles and follies from all levels of live theater. My name is Al.
And I'm Trev.
And yada yada, we have construction in our house. We don't have video. We talked about this last week.
You heard all
you already
about
heard
it.
We don't need to tell you again. That is continuing to be a thing that's going on, and that's why we're not in our studio. Moving on. So today, Trev, you're going to talk to us a little bit about a censorship-related topic, right?
Censorship tale. I have 2 stories today about theater censorship, which I know maybe not the most fun topic.
Hot button issue.
But yeah. I also just get tickled by the lengths to which the man at any given point in history will try to keep art, safe and respectable and stop people from being inventive.
Yes.
Like we as a species just have this habitual need to say that historical art is good. Everything that has been done by the old masters is totally fine.
Yes.
But new and modern art is scary and unacceptable.
Yeah. Yep.
That's just how it goes.
Classic. Because when you censor somebody, that really just makes them want to say that thing more.
Yes,
so...
and we will see that. The folly of censorship.
Yeah.
The hubris.
So good luck with that. Good luck trying to censor.
That's good energy to keep in your mind as we go forward.
I'm prepared for this one. All right.
Yeah.
Places.
Thank you, places. So our first story begins in the 11th and 12th centuries, sort of broadly, during the age of religious mystery plays, while European theater really didn't exist outside of the church. But during this time, elements of drama kept threatening the sanctity of the mystery play.
Oh, threatening the sanctity.
Retellings of biblical stories kept getting expanded with character arcs, added vignettes, and all that.
Yeah, Hildegard von Bingen's musical was pretty cutting edge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, maybe a 10th century cleric playing King Herod would have stuck to the script based in scripture, but in the 12th century, maybe he might have acted a bit more extravagantly villainous in a way to hype up the drama for the congregation.
Of course.
You gotta give them what they want.
Everybody secretly has a dream of being on the stage. And
The tagline of this
sometimes
podcast.
that can get the best of us.
We all yearn for the stage. But this culture changed slowly over time, and there is historical dispute about whether or not the backlash came suddenly or not. The most likely story is that it was over time, that the 12th and 13th centuries came with this broad anxiety about clergy participating in what they would call ludi, which is games and spectacles and performances of any kind. But the more interesting story that many historians prefer is that Pope Innocent III threw down an actual ban on priests taking the stage in these mystery
Innocent.
plays.
Okay.
Pope Innocent
First,
III.
Of course it's
3
Pope,
times as innocent.
Pope Innocent, of course, is going to be the one
I think that's
laying
great
this
too.
law down. Okay.
So whether it was the edict of one pope or a broader religious movement, the goal was clear. The Catholic Church wanted to stop people from taking the stories of the Bible as entertainment when they should have been attending for religious education and worship.
Yeah, of course. It was just too entertaining.
It's too interesting.
We made the Bible too hot.
I know. So it's short-sighted for 2 reasons, I think. First of all, there are so many stories based on biblical characters and situations. Like you want people to spread the word, but you're standing in your own way by saying that the stories can't be fun.
Yeah.
But I guess they had maybe they had religious reasons for not putting sequins on the apostles' outfits, whatever. But
I mean, they're missing out. The apostles' outfits would really be made better with sequins and feathers.
We need some glitz and glamour.
But, okay,
we
whatever.
need some superstar in our Jesus Christ.
Okay.
But more importantly, you can't just restrict the drama of church programming and then expect that the demand for that drama will politely disappear. It's theatrical economics. They took the supply away.
Yeah.
The demand was still there.
Yeah, but everybody still wanted it.
So congratulations.
They still wanted it.
Pope Innocent III has just created a black market for theater.
Ooh.
This was a huge step forward for the reintroduction of European theater as a secular discipline. These ragtag traveling theatrical troupes started getting way more traction since the populace wasn't thrilled by what their church was offering.
They said we're not allowed to have sequins in church, but maybe we could have sequins outside of church.
Let me have sequins in the town square. And by the 13th and 14th centuries, the great English mystery play cycles were even being performed by trade guilds. Like the shipwrights in the dock would stage a performance of Noah's Ark.
Okay, I love this.
This is really cute.
I love this guerrilla theater that's happening.
Yes, it's basically community theater. I mean,
Yeah.
amateur performers with a day job coming together afterward to stage their favorite stories,
Yep.
make a little cash on the side.
You know, the vineyard guy is telling the story about the time that Jesus turned all that water into
Yes.
wine. And he's
Oh my
like,
God.
check out my staging of this vignette from the Bible where Jesus turns all this water into wine. And then also we're going to have wine after.
It's a dinner and a movie.
Yeah.
A dinner and a
it's
show.
the OG dinner theater.
It all happened because
Biblical
of Pope Innocent.
dinner theater. Wow.
And of course, it slowly became more common for theater troupes to perform stories that were secular in nature. God forbid. Then we get professional troupes starting to pop up, and before you know it, theater as an art form is primed for the Renaissance. And the longest, deepest period of theatrical censorship comes to a close, helped in part by the Pope trying his darndest to control it.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward a few centuries. We're still in Europe, more specifically England, and theater is now a living, thriving art form. We're in the early 1700s, and we're seeing a lot of drama that's actually critical of the government at this point. Problem. Britain's first official prime minister, Robert Walpole, is the subject of a great many theatrical attacks through comedy and satire and more, but his early efforts to censor the art form are very unpopular with his constituents because everybody's about power to the people at this point.
Yeah.
Until he learns of a play called The Golden Rump. This play is so obscene and so treasonous and just filled to the brim with poop jokes.
Filled to the brim with girlish poop jokes.
So Walpole takes it as a perfect opportunity to get his censorship measures passed. Walpole takes the play and he reads passages from it to the House of Commons, and they are shocked.
Were they like really into it, or were they actually shocked?
They were so embarrassed that they were so into it.
Yeah.
But regardless, they promptly pass his licensing act for fear that the art of theater descends into a cesspool of fart jokes.
Lascivious mirth, if there ever
Of course.
was. Yeah.
Too much mirth. But
Yeah.
important detail. There is no surviving copy of The Golden Rump. It was
Aw.
never performed. It was never even printed. Historians have long believed that Walpole commissioned the play himself just to shock the House of Commons into letting him censor theater for the next 100 years.
What?
It can't be proven either way. Nobody
What?
knows. But
This is a terrible crime.
this is
I am
truly
shocked to my foundations.
self-sabotage for the act of
He-
political subterfuge.
He was just trying to say, like, well, I need an excuse to get theater banned. How about I have them write the... What if I wrote the worst play in the world? They would shut it down during the opening night. You could make more money with a flop than with a hit.
You're so right.
Walpole, the
Oh my
OG
God.
producers. Oh
You're
my gosh.
so right. That's wild. That's just
It's almost like distracting people from the real problems is maybe something that we shouldn't be doing.
yep. Let that sink in. So not proven, but Walpole might have orchestrated this whole thing himself.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
let that color the rest of the carnage to follow.
Oh, God, there's more.
This licensing act of 1737 says two things. First of all, every new play must be submitted to the Lord Chamberlain, who is this royal official who organizes court ceremonies and whatnot. And he has to give a license before the show can be performed. And he can refuse for any reason, and he owes no explanation to anyone.
Okay, so he's not following a rubric or
Nope.
anything that says, here's the list of things that we're really not hoping to see in
It's
theater.
just
He's just running rampant.
it's vibes.
Okay.
And you can't appeal. Once he
Yeah.
says his opinion, it
That's
just
it.
stands.
You can't make some edits and get rid of a couple things.
Maybe you could try, but I don't know if you want to get his bad side.
Yeah. Oof.
Now, the Lord Chamberlain does not have time to sort out all the good, nice plays from the obscene, terrible, bad plays, so a new office is created. the examiner of plays.
Oh, what a nice job.
The examiner
what a
of
fun
plays.
job to have.
See, I don't think this sounds like a nice job.
Okay.
The examiner of plays gets to read every new play and act as moral gatekeeper for what gets approved and what doesn't.
Okay, so obviously I don't like the fact that one person is gatekeeping the whole of theater and
Yes.
deciding what's good and what isn't. But it does seem like it might be kind of fun to be the person who's reading the material and saying, like, this is crap. This is not, nope, this one's bad.
Garbage.
This one's never going to be.
Get
And
it
then-
out of my sight.
And then be like, oh, yes, this one is divine. We simply must have this one at the festival. I don't know.
That's what it was like.
It does seem like kind of an interesting career to have.
You
but,
might be a good examiner of plays.
But I would let anything go that was lascivious wouldn't be my problem. My problem would be
Yes.
like if the play wasn't written well. I'd be like, nope, this is garbage. Take this away.
Yeah, as the examiner of plays, you do get to make changes to the text.
Okay,
You can
yeah.
even edit costumes and sets.
Okay.
And make improvements to like the stage directions.
Yeah. So we're turning this one into a musical. This one doesn't have nearly enough sparkles or sequins.
But Elle, this is the fourth play in a row that you've turned into a musical. Second, in this licensing act, all legitimate spoken drama is restricted to the two theaters, Drury Lane and Covent Garden theaters. That we heard all about the Covent Garden 2 weeks ago. The old Price riots were at that. Theater. Those two theaters and those two theaters alone were supported by the monarchy and thus were the only places where new spoken work could be performed. And that was legitimate theater.
Okay.
If it wasn't, an approved, good with the Lord Chamberlain play, it was illegitimate theater.
Okay.
And it was shushed away with dancing and music and pantomime, etc.
Okay. Yeah, that was all the bad shit. You were. Yeah.
That you can perform in whatever back alley you want. But if you want to write a new play or even perform some Shakespeare, you can't legally perform it unless it is pre-approved by the Lord Chamberlain, and then it would also have to get a spot at one of his 2 patent theaters.
Wow. Okay.
What follows is a barrage of increasingly creative ways that people got around the regulations set by the Prime Minister. For example, you want to perform some Shakespeare, but you can't because you aren't in one of those patent theaters? You can just hire a fiddle player to accompany the show while you perform it, and that makes it a musical.
Oh.
In the time-appropriate terms, this would be a burletta or a melodrama if you made the music stings corresponding to the plot.
Ooh, okay,
And
I love
courts
that.
At the time, just everybody genuinely struggled with deciding where the line was between spoken drama and burlettas or spoken drama and melodramas. Mm-hmm. Also, some illegitimate theaters, rather than perform plays normally, would have the actors hold up placards with their lines on them and stay silent.
Oh,
Like a
that's
silent
kinda
movie.
Cute.
So it wasn't spoken theater to the letter of the law, so it was permitted.
It was a little silent movie. Okay, that's very cute. Very clever.
Yeah, eventually Parliament would come up with a fix to modify the Licensing Act with, this is much later, the Theatres Act of 1843. Now, any licensed theater can perform legitimate drama, which was genuinely great for the art form. This would result in a Victorian theater boom throughout the rest of the 1800s. But still, there's the big issue of the Lord Chamberlain being able to stop any new play for any reason. Mm-hmm. Now, with a new law, he's actually able to ban a play that was previously approved whenever he judges that the ban would preserve, quote, good manners, decorum, or the public peace.
Wow, okay. So,
Whatever.
yeah. Whatever that
We're
means.
playing Calvin Ball here.
yeah.
Several of George Bernard Shaw's works were banned, as were plays by Henrik Ibsen, Granville Barker, and, get this, Sophocles. The examiner of plays did not like the incestual themes of Oedipus Rex, and so he banned one of the cornerstones of the art form in the name of decency.
Okay, well, I mean, I know people then probably didn't want to see a whole lot of incest.
Yeah, I mean, probably not.
I can kind of, I mean, I'm not saying you should ban a play because I don't think you should. I don't believe in bans. I'm a library girly. I don't believe in banning things generally. But I guess I'm like not surprised by some of his choices.
True, maybe not surprising, like without the context that this was a really important work of theater, and everybody at the time did
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
It was like one of the great classic plays.
Yeah.
And there weren't a lot of plays that everybody had heard of at that point.
Yeah, I know Lysistrata is a big one that got
Right,
banned by a lot of
totally.
people, and
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
we've talked about a lot of plays that had been banned by this dude.
yeah,
By the examiner himself.
this position, yeah.
So even the Mikado was banned wildly for reasons of cultural appropriation.
Oh, well, okay.
That's not what he was concerned about. I think it was more for saving face when Japanese royalty came for a visit.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
But
I mean,
it's even stop
interesting
clock is
that
right
they're-
twice a day.
Yeah, that's a very funny way to put that. Yes.
So this continued for another 100 years. But one of the first time that everybody realized how broken this system was when a play was banned by the Lord Chamberlain, but then, by chance, one of Queen Mary's ladies-in-waiting saw it at a private showing. She loved it and recommended it to the Queen, who saw it and loved it. And word gets around to the Lord Chamberlain just after he officially has the play banned.
Oh.
So he like reverses his decision, and everybody kind of knows that the reversal was not due to the content of the show, but it was because somebody important liked it.
Yeah, because if you break the rules for one person,
Uh-huh.
who else could you break the? I mean, if you're going to break the rules for the Queen, what are you going to break the rules
Yeah.
for her lady in waiting who's really into it, or some duke that's really into it? Like,
Some duke.
At what point
Yeah.
is this going to end?
And then, of course, we have to talk about the Windmill Theater. This is the real kicker for bad censorship logic. We learned about tableau vivant in a earlier episode, where people would just pose in a formation.
Yeah.
The deal was struck with the Lord Chamberlain at the time that nudity could be performed if the actors were stationary. So then it would just be like a classic sculpture. So the Windmill Theater in Soho was staging these nude tableaus all the time. But with the rule that nobody can move,
Yep.
they said, if it moves, it's rude. But the shows got like increasingly elaborate, and the Windmill Girls, as they were called, would stand in all sorts of crazy poses in the name of art. And the principal dancer would come in, and she would be moving only while strategically covered by these like ostrich feather fans. And then the fans would reveal her in a stationary position. She'd be nude as all get out, but technically not
frozen,
moving.
yeah.
While she was exposed. So
Yeah.
it was fine.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's fine. So these strange lines drawn in the sand were really starting to wear out the credibility of the Crown's claim to
Yeah.
ownership of all theater. But the last nail in the coffin for this era of censorship was the loophole created by private members' clubs. This was how Queen Mary's Lady-in-Waiting saw this show. They had been exploiting the fact that censorship only covered public performances. So for at least 70 years, all the banned shows could be seen at private theaters.
Yeah.
And in 1965, this shit lasted a long freaking time.
Wow, yeah.
1965, the Royal Court wants to stage a public performance of the play Saved by Edward Bond. The Lord Chamberlain demanded some cuts to the script, but the theater refused, and instead they handed the show to a private club called the English Stage Society. So even though it was in like a theater that was technically public, they handed over like the production of the show to a private theater.
Yeah.
Which just the only thing that changed was some paperwork, but then they were technically getting around the purview of the Lord Chamberlain.
Okay.
So he prosecuted, and then there's this big old scandal, and eventually, 3 years after the performance, Parliament finally passed this new Theatres Act of 1968, which finally repealed the old 1843 Act in its entirety. And lo and behold, paperwork loopholes brought down old Robert Walpole's censorship that started 231 years ago.
Wow.
While with his maybe fake dirty play
Yeah.
unleashing this whole shitstorm on the world.
We love a bureaucratic loophole.
We love a loophole. So, two stories. In the first, the church is worried about dignity and religious sanctity. And in the second, the state is worried about danger and scandal. But in both stories, we can see pretty plainly that the censorship led directly to the advancement of more varied and interesting theater acts. Several episodes of this show right here are about new genres that
Yeah.
censorship made possible, like tableau vivant and melodrama. Theater won by very unglamorous means. They weren't like defying the censorship entirely, but they were finding ways to stay within the word of the law
Yeah.
while really stretching the rules as they were intended.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. We love when people get crafty.
We love a creative,
Yeah.
crafty, theatrical heist.
Yep, a creative workaround.
Uh-huh.
Like, well, we're not technically allowed to do this.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to get a little...
We're not moving.
Sneaky, a little sneaky about it. Yeah.
We're scantily clad and in compromising gestures, but there's no jiggling going on. there's no thrusting. We're just standing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Time for a listener story. Last week we had a story from our listener Steve about a situation that happened at a production of The Nutcracker. This is kind of a continuation of that story. Another chapter of my saga of the Nutcracker Ballet. A different year, my friend and I were running Spotlight for our friend's ballet production of The Nutcracker. This year, things were going along flawlessly. He and I were in our spot positions, spotlights go, headsets on, and midway through the production, all the fire alarms go off.
Oh, no.
Now, mind you, this is at a massive arts center, seating capacity 3,000.
Wow, okay.
It was a sold-out performance. 3,000 people get up, exit the building, come back in, house lights go back down, ballet continues. At the end, what we were told was the ballerinas didn't listen. Turns out, many of the cast members of this production were students of a dance studio that were supplying the majority of the dancers for this particular production. They were told under no circumstances should they be spraying hairspray in their dressing room.
Oh, no.
Well, the ballerinas did not listen, and 50 girls ranging in age from 7 to 14 were all spraying hairspray. And this was back in the day of Aquanet. They sprayed so much hairspray that they filled up the room and triggered the particulate sensor alarms. So, take it easy on the hairspray, people. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of wild that hairspray can set off fire alarms.
Yes,
but
I did not know that, actually.
yeah, particulates. I guess that does kind of make sense. We
Very
were just
particular particulates.
we were just finding that we're
Yes.
pulling down. We spent a lot of time pulling down plaster with all of the construction going on in our house. Sorry to sort of bring this back up again, but
Don't shut up about their house project.
but pulling down plaster and all of the dust that comes, like plaster dust, actually did set off our smoke alarms.
Yeah,
So
it was alarming.
I'm really not that surprised that Aquanet in mass would set off alarms. Yeah.
But gosh, like a little mistake like that to displace 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep. That little mistake ended up affecting a whole lot of people.
5 minutes.
Thank you, Five. All right, Trev, since you were talking about censorship today, we have a little censorship-related Thank You 5 that we're going to play. I have for you a list of 10 possible reasons why a show might be banned or censored. And I also have a list of 10 musicals that are generally pretty clean and probably wouldn't have much of a reason to be banned. What we're going to do is we're going to play a little censorship roulette kind of game here. We both have two 10-sided dice. We will roll the dice. For example, if I roll a 2 and an 8, I will pick reason number 2 for a play to be banned and musical number 8. And I have to give you the original uncensored version of that musical that
Yes.
needed to be censored.
The one
for
that the
a certain
examiner
reason.
of plays did some edits for.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. So, why don't you take it away? Go ahead and roll your
All right,
dice.
let's see. I have an 8 and a 7. That is what were the culturally offensive stereotypes in the Music Man. Now I have to think, are there culturally insensitive stereotypes in the Music Man? Sometimes
with those old shows, you never know.
you never know. You're watching one and they just hit you out of the blue and you're like, whoa. Okay, I can't think of any. So wait. So what was the name of the magician from last week?
Oh, last week we had Chung-Ling Soo
Yes,
was
yes,
the
yes.
magician. Yeah.
So he is also a charlatan who came
Okay.
into a town. So I think that Chung-Ling Soo, the American,
Yeah.
whatever his name was,
Yes.
he's in the train during Rock Island, and he's
Okay.
on his way to peddle his magician act.
Yes, where he was pretending to be Chinese.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
culturally offensive. Okay.
And we didn't like that.
So we took that character right
We
out.
didn't like anybody glamorizing what that man had done.
Okay,
so
sounds
we
good.
cut him out of there. I think
he got cut from the
that was
from
a
the
good
opening.
change that we made for
Yeah.
the Music Man.
Yeah. Okay, good call.
All right, what you got for me?
All right, let's see. I have a 6 and a 10. We have profanity in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh man.
Well, I think there's a lot of different places where profanity could have existed in The Wizard of Oz and gotten cut out. I think the famous one is, "Who the fuck dropped a house on my sister?"
That's a great moment.
They
I
had
love
to
when
edit
she
that
says
one
that.
out.
Yeah.
That one had to go.
Do all the munchkins swear too?
the Munchkins just have a really just terrible potty mouths.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be great. We took that out.
I just want to sing a song from The Wizard of Oz.
It's Ding Dong, the Bitch is Dead.
Oh, there
we
it
go.
is.
That's the OG. That's
Which
the
old bitch? The wicked bitch.
Yes, that's the original lyrics. We had to censor it.
Shame. That's a good song. All right. Now my turn. This is fun. I love this. All right, number 10, drug use. Number 6, in Annie. There's quite a lot of drinking in Annie.
Yeah.
But is Hannigan just like a intravenous drug user the whole time?
Yeah, she does kind of give Coke girl vibes.
Sure.
A little
Maybe.
bit.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
I think she's like every other scene she's snorting something.
Yeah, that's very believable.
Yeah, it's also quite dark. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that there can be a lot of scenes, especially with Rooster and that other girl. They
Yeah.
get together and they have this wild rager.
Yeah.
And they get totally hopped up on cocaine while they're thinking about their plan to steal all the money in the world.
Yeah, okay. That's not that much of a stretch.
It's really not. No, I think if I saw that, I'd be like, I don't remember that, but it
Oh,
tracks.
this is a little darker than I remember.
Yeah.
All right, 7, we have blasphemy. And
Ooh.
number 8, Bye Bye Birdie. Okay, this is actually very appropriate because the way that everyone is worshiping Conrad in Bye Bye Birdie, this really is not that far. I
Yeah.
think it's just that the teens in the town, they have started the Church of Conrad.
Oh my
and
gosh, that's so funny.
They're worshiping him. They have an altar. They have candles with his face
They've got
on them.
like a golden statue.
Yeah, they're worshiping Conrad Birdie, and so they had to dial that back a little bit,
Just a little
and just
bit.
just elevate him only to Elvis status rather
Yes.
than
So
a
originally,
religious icon.
instead of singing rock and roll tunes, he was singing religious.
Yes.
He was doing mega church faith
Yeah.
healing,
Yeah,
which is honestly, again, not really far from
Not that
how that
far.
scene goes.
not that far from what happens. Yeah.
All right, fun. All right, this is fun. I love this. All right, 5, upsetting corporate sponsors. And 1, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
easy
easy.
peasy again. Used to be Charlie in the Hershey Factory.
Yeah.
And good golly, Mr. Hershey was not happy about.
Or the competing chocolate company didn't like it.
Oh,
Mars
no.
or whatever.
Well, nobody liked it because
We don't want to suggest that all the children go to the Hershey factory to get killed in terrible
die.
accidents.
to get murdered by a bunch of workers that
Yeah.
are technically happy with their situation, but
Yeah.
have always just sort of looked a little bit too much like slave labor to be
Yeah.
totally comfortable.
Yeah.
Which is extra bad for a chocolate factory.
Yeah.
But you're so right that all the other chocolate factories would be mad that they didn't get a piece of this pie.
Yeah.
That is really upsetting.
Some of these are really not a stretch. All right, up next we have... number 4, bestiality, and number 4, Cinderella.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Not the 4 white mice.
Oh, I don't know. It's either the white mice or the horses or, I don't know, the pumpkin. Something's going to happen here.
Not the pumpkin.
Who turns into the horses?
The 4 white mice become the 4 white horses.
Oh, okay.
It's double bestiality.
Oh, man. Maybe it's just like...
Hey, you made these lists.
I was really hoping that bestiality was going to be paired with something like The Wizard of Oz, so that it would be like very easy to make the stretch. Or Beauty and the Beast is on this list. That would have been an easy one for the bestiality.
Easy.
But no.
Oh, man.
We got bestiality and Cinderella.
Was
okay.
Dorothy in a relationship with all 3 of the strange men that she found on the Yellow Brick Road?
Well, at least one of them.
At least one of them. You don't know which.
Are there any other? There aren't any other animals in Cinderella, I don't think.
The doorman?
Is there a footman?
The footman, yeah. Not the doorman.
The doorman. There's a footman.
There's a footman.
What kind of animal is he?
A rabbit,
a fox
maybe?
and a raccoon.
Cute.
Yeah.
The foxy raccoon.
Yeah. I'm going to say Cinderella has a twist with the fox that becomes the footman. We're gonna say that was the deleted scene.
And it turns out that he was just a furry the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, it was just a guy in a furry costume. Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right, one more. We got 2 inciting rebellion in Beauty and the Beast. Now, Beauty and the Beast does incite rebellion with the Kill the Beast number.
Yeah.
So it has to be something even more upsetting than that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Belle was leading something against the crown of her dad.
Oh.
Her dad. He was creating this mysterious invention to chop wood? No. To overthrow the government.
It's a mega guillotine.
Belle's dad invented the mega guillotine, the likes of which the world has not seen.
It can chop off 50 heads at once.
It's like a big spinning wheel of scythes.
Yeah, that had to get edited out. That was way too graphic. That one did not make the cut.
He was supposed to be a nutcase, but everybody watching it was like, oh my God.
And for our last one here, we have number 3, nudity, in number 2, Guys and Dolls.
Wow. A lot of good options here.
Oh my gosh. What would be the best parts of that to feature some nudity? I mean, Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat seems like it would be a nice time for everyone to be naked, but I'm not sure why.
Yeah, well, I mean, they got to prove that they don't have anything up their sleeves.
I got it. They're all getting baptized during Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat.
Oh, my Lord.
There's a baptism scene, so everybody gets naked so that they can get, baptized in some sort of fountain, some sort of font of holy water.
Oh, my gosh. And there's got to be a scene where, Big Julie is taking off his shirt and, all his fake dice are coming out of all his sleeves.
That's
You're like,
very
I
funny.
swear that wasn't me. That's really good.
That's fun. I like that one.
They all get purified in the cleansing waters.
Yeah, they all get naked in that song.
They finish the rest of the show naked.
Yeah.
They shed their clothes and they are no longer ashamed.
Yeah. I was thinking it's either going to be that or the Crap Shooters Ballet, but that also, well, I'm not
all
sure.
Dream ballets just should be performed in the nude.
Dream ballets were meant to be done in the nude. Oh my God. It's Nicely Johnson singing, I got the horse right here. His name is Paul Revere. Except he's naked and the horse is his dick.
In case you missed it, the horse is his dick. I love that so much. I got the horse.
Oh,
they're all naked.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Yes.
Talking about whose horse is the fastest.
Whose horse is the best?
Yeah, the quickest horse. The quickest horse this side of the Mississippi. Big improvement.
Well, that is our our show for today. Thank you so much for listening. Send us your theater-related stories. We want to hear those theater-related mishaps and tales. Send those stories to us at amazingtechnikolershow@gmail.com or visit our website, amazingtechnikolershow.com. Piano accompaniment was provided by Paul Thelen, and our stage manager is Daniel Schneider. If you like what you hear, give us a good review on whatever podcast apps you use, and of course, tell your friends about us. If you don't like what you hear, tell your enemies, and we will have them banned for blasphemy.
Blasphemy. The examiner of the plays will kick them out of town.
Yep, absolutely not.
The examiner of enemies.
Yes.
Wow, that'd be a good job for you.
I would be a really good examiner of enemies.
You stay, you go.
You're tacky. You're dumb. You're kind of cool.
Hate.
Double
Loathe
hate.
entirely.
Again, thank you so much for listening, and whatever it is you're up to, be it on stage, off stage, or in your life, break a leg.
Amazing